Kwanza. And so this is a fidelity to multi-party democracy. We are seeing aggression still continuing. A very important member of the and when we believe that Jubilee was his party, now we must remind him that his party is called Kenya Kwanza, or is it UDA? It is UDA. Then the coalition is Kenya Kwanza. We're also seeing an attempt to claw back important matter of coalition building. And you know, we made strong recommendations with regard to the office of the registrar of political parties. That instead of leaving it to one person, be a commission, a team. Please do not allow face the future elections with a measure of confidence. And if we are going to safeguard multi-party democracy. But ladies and gentlemen, remember, this matter was a product of serious pain and agony and death by Kenyan people. On the streets, a year ago, the culmination I think was about April, which is what brought some sense to Kenya Kwanza, and they agreed to discuss. We lost over 72 or thereabouts young Kenyans. We are not even allowed to honor them by having some requiem masses. Remember where we come from, the product. We actually sit here this morning. We can't afford, therefore, to let them. So our friends believe that we should continue to a very honorable thing. There comes a time when if the political class let down the population, what does the population do? Under our constitution, those freedoms are. And so Kenyans have the freedom to still go back to the streets. And we hope this, particularly if this aggression continues against the basics in our constitution, then Kenyans should be allowed to do what is in the best interest of this country. Was Garama ya maisha. If Jeremiah Kioni was mtu wa madhuburia. In the world are you trying to demonstrate? Now, we need to tell Kenya Kwanza that revolutions begin sometimes in the streets, sometimes in quiet places. Therefore, if this document is not adopted on the basis as it is, we will then tell them that the bona fides are wanting. There's no good intentions on their part. And we saw, for example, an attempt, and I must thank Stuart Matzayo. But Stuart, forgive me, I called you ZAKAYO when I came in. You know, if you read closeness, ZAKAYO na Mazayo. But Stuart, by the way, this is becoming our national anthem, ZAKAYO SHUKA. Because when we call a former governor like Kipia, and one of our see that this is ZAKAYO SHUKA. And you know, he said, on a light note, he said, everything in a name. This is a national anthem. So Stuart, thank you for the remarks that you made. You tried to stem the hemorrhage at the Senate. An attempt to even declare one Kenya as so you did well, and then they went back to what was originally published. You must stick to that. By the way, I must remind honorable members that this is happening at your own request. Ramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation offices. And so it's important that today everybody will feel encouraged to have useful input to the Parliament before both houses, the National Assembly and the Senate. And so allow me, and I believe this is becoming a national anthem, and Omwami, or my friend Ambetsa or Paranya has told you clearly in his mind for planning that you have to prepare yourselves to vote a big no. We know this finance bill, public participation, and it happened the same way. Finance bill 2020, 90% of Kenyans, and 98%. And now you know, as a coalition, we are ready to go back. If you are bold enough, I hope you are, and cause aggression again on public participation. Just imagine bringing heavy taxation on bread. Even the little children who have just gone to school will not enjoy their bread with a bit of blue band. So be ready, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, spiritually, that you don't think you can withstand another round of demonstrations, then go eat. You, and this country needs you. So that is my word of encouragement today. So of course we'll be hearing from the economists their perceptions about finance. May I conclude by making mention of really making some supporting comments on what has happened in the National Assembly with regard. This will not go away. This one will not go away. How many of you believe it won't go away? Because it can. If we utilize a scandal just because Linturi has been left off the hook, by the drafters, like happens in the Senate, that you get those hearings, because there was a possibility of overrunning the recommendations of 11, because they saw this happening and they walked out. So the product that came out of the 11-member committee is really nobody believes it. Kenyans do not believe it. In a catch 2022, if they think that the country is watching, wait until the expected harvest levels because of the fake fertilizer. And if you think you can just refund somebody their little whatever they spend on buying the fake fertilizer, remember the environmental damage because unless you go and use other things now to reclaim your substance, in terms of expected harvest levels. We have heard from Dr. Net that food prices in Kenya are the same level as Germany, and everybody knows the high cost of. Finally, I want to urge a spirit of solidarity. One of the very key things that we negotiate, clear that if you're elected on an ODM ticket, in the supermarket, all right, and you think your people are not watching, if you feel strong and popular enough, the best thing to do is to expect, after you have gone through the motions, because it is all there, I think Article 103, is it 103 of the clear? So after that, of course, there must be a by-election, so that we cannot call under that particular heading fidelity. It doesn't make sense to cheat the population, and Kenyans have, because I'm sure all of us will be witness to the fact compromised and by the system, given goodies, sometimes 100,000 shillings, you are told, and then you sell your soul for a song. Kenyans are watching, and they are so unpopular, and we know them. We know them, and I think our colleagues, and I'm sure that today, given a chance, they'll come back running. So let's be ready. Let's be ready. So I want to stop there, and really, I don't know who is the next. I also want to actually recognize Advocate Njiru Ndengwa. He doesn't look very tall, but the man is very tall in the head. He's done very well, done a lot of pro bono matters, including appearing with me in defense of aggression against former governor. So we will be ready. We will fight every. So I want to encourage you, if you want to be on the right side, even imagine you can from what your colleagues are trying to do. You will stand strong and tall. I think that it's an economic team. So ceremony, the microphone to take us through, but please remember, and those who keep on coming, please remember this is your session, because you want it to be brought on board, so that everybody will say, yes, we were fully briefed on the NADCO report. May God bless you. Thank you, and bless our country.